Okay then my friends, so far we've implemented the sign up logic, the sign in logic and the sign out logic, and each time we do one of those we log a success message to the console. But aside from that, there's no real way of telling whether we're authenticated or not in this application. So what would be good is some global auth state which stores the user credential when a user is logged in, or it stores null when they're logged out. And we should be able to access that global auth state then from any page or component in the application to do things like show the user's email on the dashboard when they're logged in, or protect certain routes from unauthenticated users, etc. So we're going to be doing that by setting up a real-time authentication subscription, which will notify our application whenever there's been an auth change. So that would be when a user either logs in or signs out or signs up. And in response to that, we'll update some global state using React context and a provider. So I've already created a context file called authcontext.tsx inside a new context folder right here. And inside this file, I've set up a new context. Now, if you know nothing about React context, then this boilerplate code might be hard to follow, but don't worry, because we're not here to learn about React context. There's plenty of videos around about that. And the main thing you should take away from this lesson is how we can set up a real-time authentication subscription to listen for auth changes. How you handle that in your own application is up to you. However, I will go over this really quickly. So in a nutshell, React context is used to provide some state to a component tree. Now, that component tree might be the entire application, in which case we'd be providing some global state to the application, or it could just be provided to a subtree in the app for a certain part of the application. In our case, we want to provide the authentication state to the entire tree, the whole app, so we can access it from any page or component. The first thing we need to do then is make the context and invoke this function right here to do that, called create context. And then we supply the initial value of the state this context will manage. In our case, that's actually going to be two values: the user themselves, which is null to begin with, and a loading value, which is true to begin with. The stuff in angle brackets right here is declaring the type of state this context will manage, which is outlined by this interface, a user value, which is either null or a Firebase user, and a loading state, which is either true or false. So when we first land on the website, the initial state in this context is null for the user and true for loading. And then as soon as we know whether the user is authenticated or not, then the user state can be updated and the loading state becomes false. And the reason we have a loading state is because when we first load the application, it takes Firebase a second to figure out if we're authenticated or not to begin with. So until that point, we can conditionally render a loading message or something based on this loading state value. Anyway, down here we've got a provider whose job it is to update and provide the context values to the application. It's a lot like a regular React component where we have the state values that we're managing, in this case the user and the loading state, and then a template down here. However, in this template we have a special provider component which is accessed via the auth context we created, and that provider component provides these state values right here. And then it wraps the component's children, meaning that whatever component tree this provider component wraps is going to be rendered here, and it will have access to the context values. In other words, we just need to wrap this component around whatever part of the application we want to provide this user and loading state to. Again, all of this is React stuff, and if it doesn't mean much to you, that's okay, because you're here to learn about Firebase, right? Not React. All you need to know is that we're making some global user state, which is either going to be null if the user is logged out, or a Firebase user object if they're logged in. And by the way, that type for a Firebase user is imported from the Firebase SDK. Anyway, now we're going to set up a real-time subscription which tells us whenever a user does either of those things, right? Sign up or log in or sign out. So the way we'll do this is by, first of all, wrapping the logic inside a use effect hook, which is going to fire the code once when the component first renders. So as the first argument, we pass a function which fires, right? And to make sure it only fires once, we use an empty dependency array as the second argument. You also need to make sure the use effect hook gets imported into the file as well from React. And again, this is all React stuff. Don't worry too much if you don't understand use effect. Know that it's just going to fire once, and inside this use effect function, we're going to then set up the real-time subscription. We can do that by first of all making a constant called unsubscribe, and I will tell you why I'm calling it that later. But for now, we set that equal to a function called onAuthStateChanged, which needs to be imported from the Firebase SDK. So make sure you do that as well. Then we invoke this function. Now, as a first argument, we need to pass in the auth instance that we set up in the Firebase file. So let's add that in and make sure we import that. And as a second argument, we pass a callback function, which takes in an argument called Firebase user. Now, the way this works is like this. When we first run this function, it sets up an observer, which fires this function whenever a user's Firebase authentication status changes. That means whenever a user either signs up, logs in, or logs out. Whenever any of those things happen, this callback function fires and we automatically get access to this argument. And the value of that argument would either be a Firebase user object if they just authenticated or null if they just logged out. There is one other time this function fires, and that is when Firebase first sets this observer up, when the application initially loads in the browser and it figures out whether the user is authenticated or not to begin with. So inside this function then, we have access to whatever the argument value is, and we can just update the user state with that value. So let's do that by saying set user, and then we'll pass in the Firebase user as an argument, which again should either be null if they logged out, or a Firebase user object if they logged in or signed in. We also need to set the loading state to be false, because whenever we first fire this callback function and we figure out the initial user value, we're not in a loading state anymore. So we can say set loading, and we want to set the value to be false. However, we only need this to run the first time this function fires, right? When loading is currently true. Not every subsequent time that the function fires. So we can wrap all of this right here inside an if check by saying if, then loading inside parentheses, and then our curly braces, and then only update the loading state if that is true. And now this only fires once and not every time a user logs in or out. Okay, so another thing I want to do now is log to the console a message every time we get one of these authentication changes, every time this callback function runs, so that we can see it. So let's say down here, console.log, and as an argument to this, I'll just say auth change, and then after that colon, and then we'll output the Firebase user itself. And now every time there's any kind of authentication change, whether the user signs up or logs in or logs out, we're going to see that updated user value logged to the console. Now, just so we don't get bogged down with console logs, I'm also going to head to the other files where we currently log a message to the console, and I'm going to delete all of them. So we do that in the login page right here. So let me get rid of that one and save the file. Then we also do it in the sign up page, I think, right here. Yep. And we also do it on the layout, is it the dashboard layout where we log out? Let's have a look. Yeah, right here. So when we sign out, we log a message to the console as well. Okay, so we've made this context and provider now, and we're updating the user state whenever Firebase detects a change in authentication status. Now we just need to provide this context to the rest of the application so that we can access this user state in any page or component in the future. And by the way we'd access the state in those components is by using this custom hook that I made down here called useAuth. And when we use that hook and invoke it from inside another page, it's going to return the context values, the user and the loading state. So then, let's go to the root component now, which is the one directly beneath the app folder. And we want to wrap the entire application with this auth context provider. To do that, we can just come down here and start wrapping it around the HTML tag. And we need to make sure that the component gets imported from the context file as well. And now, once we've wrapped this component, it's going to mean the context values will be accessible to any page or component in the application, because this layout wraps everything. Now that's going to be something we do in the next lesson, but for now, let's just preview this in the browser and see if we can see those console logs whenever a user either logs in or out of the application. And remember, we'll also see the initial log as well when we first establish the auth listener. Alright, so I just reloaded the page here in the dashboard, and we can see that initial value is logged to the console when Firebase first figures out that value of the user. So it's null to begin with. And that means we're not logged in. So let's go to the login page now by saying /auth/login. When I first load this page as well, we should see null again because We find this value, this initial user value, when we first make that connection. But I'm now going to log in as Mario at NetNinja.dev, if I can spell it, test 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we want to log in. We should see now an auth change, and we see the current user. So we've logged in. Now, if we land on the dashboard again, if we go over there, then you can see the initial value when we first load this page, when we figure it out, is that user. So we're now logged in to begin with. Now, if I log out, we should see another auth change right here, and that should become null. So let's try it. Yep, auth change null. So now we have this global state that we can use in the application, which is kind of updating when we either log in or log out. So we can use that now to do different things like protect pages or even show the user data on the page.